27. Discussing contract terms. Context: a lawyer and a client reviewing the details of a contract. I've read through the contract, but there are a couple of terms I'd like to clarify before I sign. Of course, what would you like to discuss? The payment terms are a bit unclear. Can we adjust the payment schedule to be more flexible? We can modify that. Would you prefer to split the payments into 2 installments rather than 3? Yes, that would work better for me. Noted. What about the clause regarding dispute resolution? Are you comfortable with the arbitration process outlined? I'd prefer to have a mediation process first before going to arbitration. That's a reasonable request. I'll revise the language to reflect that change. Great, I'll wait for the updated version before signing. 28. Convincing colleagues or partners context. A team meeting discussing adopting new software for better collaboration. I understand that we've been using the current tool for a while, but I think we should consider switching to a new platform. It's faster, more user-friendly, and integrates well with our existing systems. I'm not sure. It seems like a lot of work to switch, and there might be a learning curve for the team. I get that, but think about how much time we could save on communication and file sharing. The learning curve will be short, especially since the new system has a simple interface. Okay, I see the potential benefits. But what about training the team? We'll provide full training and support. Plus, I can set up a demo so you can see how it works before we make the change. All right, I'm open to giving it a try. Let's do the demo. Great, I'll schedule it for next week. 29. Assigning tasks to team members. Context: a team leader assigning tasks during a meeting. Okay, team, let's break down the tasks for the new project. Sarah, I'd like you to lead the design phase. Please make sure the branding is consistent with our vision. Got it. I'll get started on the initial concepts and share them with everyone for feedback. James, you'll handle the development side. Specifically, we need you to set up the back-end infrastructure for the new feature. I'm on it. I'll get started with the API setup and ensure we're aligned with the design team. Tom, I need you to keep communication with the client. Make sure they're updated on our progress and that we're meeting their expectations. Understood. I'll draft the first email update and send it today. Great. Let's check in again in 2 days to make sure we're on track. Any questions? No, everything's clear. Thanks. All right, let's make this a successful project. 30. Evaluating team performance context. A manager providing feedback to a team member after a project. I just wanted to go over how the last project went and give you some feedback. Overall, you did a great job with the client presentations. Thank you. I've been working hard to improve those. It shows. The clients.
31. Management and leadership. Discussing goals with employees. Context: discussing team goals with an employee during a one-on-one meeting. So, as we start the new quarter, I want to make sure we're all aligned on the goals for the team. What are your thoughts on the targets we set last time? I think we're doing well, but I feel we could push a bit harder on customer satisfaction metrics. Last quarter's results weren't quite where I'd like them to be. That's a good point. How do you suggest we improve? Do you think additional training could help? Definitely. I also think we need to focus more on resolving customer complaints faster. If we could reduce response time by 20%, it would really make a difference. I like that. Let's set that as a priority. I'll also make sure we have the resources to support you in improving these areas. Sounds good. I'll start by reviewing the customer service reports and identifying the biggest pain points. Great. Let's check in regularly to track progress and make sure we're staying on target. 32. Management and leadership, motivating and encouraging the team. Context. Motivating the team during a team meeting after a challenging period. I know this has been a tough few weeks, but I just want to remind you all how much your hard work has been appreciated. We've faced some challenges, but we've also achieved a lot. Let's keep that momentum going as we head into the final stretch. Everyone has been pulling their weight, and the results are starting to show. Our numbers are improving, and that's thanks to all of you. I know things can feel overwhelming at times, but we're in this together. Let's focus on the next milestone and continue supporting each other. I'm confident that with the effort we've all been putting in, we'll hit our targets and finish strong. Keep pushing, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything from me to help you succeed. Let's stay focused and finish this quarter even stronger than we started. Problem solving, discussing issues at work. Context, discussing a recurring issue with a colleague in the office. I've noticed that we're still having some issues with meeting deadlines, particularly with the reports. Do you know what's causing the delays? Yes. I think part of the issue is that we're overloaded with tasks. The current workload is really heavy, and it's difficult to keep up. I understand. We might need to redistribute some of the responsibilities. Do you think we could also streamline the process for report generation? That could help, but we may also need to check if there are any bottlenecks in how information is being passed around. Good point. Let's take a closer look at the workflow and see if we can eliminate some unnecessary steps. I'll also suggest to the team that we prioritize tasks differently to avoid spreading ourselves too thin. Once we identify the key issues, we can put a plan in place to resolve them. Let's schedule a follow-up meeting to discuss it further. 34th problem solving. Resolving conflicts with colleagues. Context, resolving a conflict between two colleagues during a mediation session. I understand there's some tension between you two over the recent project. Let's try to work through this calmly. What's been the biggest issue for both of you? I feel like I've been doing most of the work, and when it comes time for feedback, my contributions are overlooked. On my side, I feel like there are missed deadlines, and I've been trying to keep things moving forward while the delays keep piling up. I get both sides. It seems like communication may be a factor here. How can we make sure we're both on the same page moving forward? Maybe we can have more frequent check-ins to update each other on progress. That sounds like a good idea. Also, let's make sure we're clearly outlining each person's responsibilities so that there are no misunderstandings. I'm happy to work with you both to improve communication. We're a team, and we need to support each other to get the best results. Let's set some ground rules for future collaboration and move forward with a clearer understanding. Problem-solving, proposing solutions. For project delays. Context, discussing how to manage delays on a project with a team lead. It seems like we're behind schedule on the project, and we need to come up with a solution to get back on track. I think one way we could catch up is by increasing the number of resources we're dedicating to the tasks that are falling behind. That's a good point. What about extending the workday for the team to make up for lost time? I'm not sure if that's sustainable in the long term. Maybe we could outsource some of the tasks temporarily to get the work moving faster? I agree. I'll look into bringing in some external help. In the meantime, let's reassign tasks internally to ensure we're focusing on the highest priority items. We could also adjust the deadlines for less critical deliverables so that the team isn't overwhelmed. Once we get some extra help and adjust priorities, we should be able to finish everything on time. I'll send out an updated timeline to the team and make sure everyone is clear on the new plan. 36. Reporting and presenting. Presenting weekly, monthly reports. Context, presenting the monthly sales report to the management team. As you can see from the report, we've seen a 15% increase in sales this month, which is a great improvement. We've also successfully launched the new product line, which has contributed to the majority of this growth. However, we did experience some challenges in the supply chain, which caused slight delays in delivery. Looking forward, we're aiming to increase this growth rate even further by focusing on expanding our online sales channels. I've outlined a strategy for the upcoming quarter to improve logistics and ensure more timely deliveries. With your approval, we'll begin implementing these changes next week. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions or discuss the report further. Reporting and presenting. Reporting project progress. Context, reporting on the progress of a software development project to the client. So far, the development team has completed the initial phase of coding, and we're currently on track with the timeline. We've finished 60% of the planned features, and testing will begin next week. There have been some minor issues with integration, but the team has already started working on solutions. We're confident that we'll meet the deadline, as the remaining tasks are well within scope. Once the testing phase is complete, we'll be ready to present the first full version to you for review. I'll make sure to send you a progress update every week so you're always in the loop. If you have any concerns or suggestions in the meantime, feel free to reach out and we'll address them immediately. 38. Reporting and presenting, delivering presentations to management, context. Presenting a proposal to the management team for a new marketing initiative. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to present a proposal for a new marketing campaign aimed at increasing our online presence. The goal of this campaign is to target a younger audience through social media influencers and targeted ads. We've identified a set of metrics that will track to measure success, including engagement rates and conversions. The budget for this campaign will be $50,000, with most of the funds allocated toward paid media and influencer partnerships. I believe this approach will significantly boost our visibility and drive sales in the next quarter. I'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions you might have about the plan. With your approval, we'll be ready to launch the campaign by the end of next month. Reporting and presenting. Analyzing work, results. Context. Analyzing the performance of a completed marketing campaign. Looking at the results of the campaign, it's clear that our Facebook ads generated the highest engagement, with a 20% increase in click-through rates. However, the Instagram ads didn't perform as well as expected, with a lower engagement rate compared to last quarter. One factor that may have impacted this is the timing of the ads, as there was a lot of competition during that period. Based on these results, I recommend adjusting the Instagram strategy for the next campaign, possibly by testing different ad formats. Overall, though, the campaign did meet most of our goals. especially in terms of lead generation. We'll use these insights to refine our strategies moving forward. Does anyone have any suggestions or feedback on how we can further optimize the next campaign?